Good day, everyone. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. And welcome to the ECN Youth and Leadership channel. So thank you very much for following up on our videos. We really want to tell you that it's quite very, very encouraging. And that's why we keep doing what we're doing. So moving on from last week when we spoke about delegation, amongst leaders and how leaders can delegate to be able to reduce the amount of workload that they have on themselves. And the reason why they need to do that, we looked at some of those reasons last week. So this week, we're going to be talking about something that actually happens when every leader does delegate, or some fear that every leader does have. We talked about it, we mentioned it last week also, which is the fear of the team member dropping the ball at the delegated task. So the question is, leaders need to train themselves to be able to create a soft zone for their team members so that anytime they do make mistakes, there are safe zones that they feel very comfortable in riding on. Now, the reason for creating safe zones is not because you want to lower your standards. It is actually to encourage people to mount up their will and their courage. It builds courage. Because initially, nobody actually wants to fail. Nobody sets out in any task, even when delegated to do that task, to fail. So, what are we looking at? Leaders need to begin to look at mistakes from a different perspective. Mistakes are actually not failures. Mistakes are actually opportunities to improve, for self-improvement in that regard. So, you see why mistakes actually not encouraged, but when it does happen, it's an opportunity for the individual to be able to learn. Yeah. And what are some of the great ways for creating safe zones for your team? Number one, normalize mistakes. You're human. The individual is human. So anyone is actually prone to be able to make mistakes. And so, in fact, in some cases, draw up or speak about your own greatest delegation task that failed. Yeah. So that team members can know and feel very comfortable around them. Secondly, separate intent from outcome. You see, no one individual actually sets out to fail, as I said earlier. Yeah. So remove the intent, because the intent is good, but it was the outcome that actually caused the failure. So why don't you focus on the outcomes and not the individual? Thirdly, focus on the systems and not people. Yeah. It might just be you might need to upskill or titrate your system so that your system can be able to ensure that such failures do not happen, instead of pushing all the blame on the people. And then lastly, celebrate intelligent mistakes when they are made. Yeah. And what do I mean by intelligent mistakes? There are some persons, when they come to a task and they come against a brick wall, they become innovative, and they just, in their innovation, they launch out and do what their mind tells them to do. Eventually, it does fail, yes. But you see, if they were innovative enough and they were willing enough to be able to brace whatever brick wall that they had, you should find a way to be able to, yes, you're correcting them, but you now also be able to reward them for taking that level of risk. Move forward right now, we're considering some great examples. For me, I've had some very, very great time, and I'm still doing that right now because it's a major trait, as we said, that every leader should always display. I remember very vividly, many of our key accounts, we have to do a tender business kind of a thing. So it comes at an appointed time, maybe during quarterly intervals. And for every quarter it comes with a set of guidelines, set of rules that each and every supply unit actually demands of everyone entering into the tender business. So there's always a routine of things that you need to do. There's a time you need to ensure that the invoices are closed. There's a time you need to ensure that all the products on the list that have been tendered and the prices are given. So there's a time frame for everything. And so, growing higher within the leadership hierarchy, I had to delegate some of these duties to maybe the key account manager or some other persons within the team for them to follow up while I attend to more strategic things. Well, there are times we've had to miss at the tenders timeline that have been set. And for every leader out there, most of them want to probably just go screaming on the team member, why did we miss this tender? This could cost us our quarterly budget and our targets for the year and blah, blah, blah. But really, the safe zone practice is always, okay, call the team leader or the team delegated person that you have given this task to the table. What exactly in the line of instructions did you not understand? Yeah, why don't you draw up a checklist, you as a leader, and hand over this checklist in collaboration with the team member, so that the member knows that for every of the requirements that are required part time, we ensure that we meet the stipulated timeline. Yeah, why that checklist monitoring and the checklist ownership by the individual, it becomes very difficult for him to miss out the timeline. Another great example I also remember very well is from my transitioning from when I was just a junior person within the team to when I became a first line manager. One of the greatest things I love to do, which I still love to do till date, is presentations. I am great with presentations. I'm natural with them. So it turned out that this flair actually did not want to, because as I proceeded up the ladder, a lot of the junior members of the team now had to go for the presentation, either at departmental levels for our customers, or maybe at state levels, or maybe at a fora whereby there are people from different nationalities, or the case may be. So because I had a knack for it, it became a little bit difficult for me to withdraw from them. So even when I became a manager, I still had to go do some presentations. I just had this feeling that the team members will not do it like I would like to do it. So I went ahead and did them. Well, it didn't turn out very right, because what I was doing was I was depriving team members the ability to be able to grow in their own specified responsibilities, as the case may be, because I wanted it right, And so a safe zone tactics that later on I began to practice was, okay, if I know that this individual is not very good at presentations, okay, why don't we do a role play? Let's have like 2-3 scenarios of role plays, and let's go over what we are meant to do. And then by role playing, I can be able to access the individual and say, okay, this guy has gotten to the level that I think he can represent us and will not drop the ball at that particular event or the other. So you see, these are some of the ways and tactics that you go about and ensuring that you maintain that safe zone. Every great leader should not be looking at perfection. You should be looking at progress. Where a leader sees perfection within his team, what it means is that there are a lot of people in the team that are actually throwing falsehood. Yeah, every team, the journey of life and the journey of knowledge is always growing. You never stop learning, you keep growing. Yeah, so you should not strive. While you strive for perfection, yeah, progress is actually what the process is. Yeah. And so please let me know what you think in the comment section. Maybe give out your own example of the next delegated task you're going to give out to your team members, and let me know what your comments are. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, and I'm sure there's somebody that actually needs this in some part of the world. So thank you very, very much, and I'll see you at the brighter side of next week also. Thank you. Have a blessed week.